Hi, tonight what I thought I would do is basically review the first 2 weeks. Really anybody watching for the first time, my thought all along was when I come out of plaster, how long before I'm able to do anything, able to walk, able to drive, able to get back into the workplace. And it's a question nobody ever answers. So I'm maybe just going to sort of briefly talk about my journey over the first 15 days or so post-plaster. As soon as you come out of plaster, the biggest problem you have is getting the foot down on the ground, and that's a problem with the brain actually telling your foot to go down. So first few days I was only maybe getting about 10% or so down the ground. So some of the exercises I had to do were the square lunges. This is just short, so it's that little one, so you're just going forward, pushing forward and so on. So that's one you can do really right from the outset. Another one I had is even just making the alphabet shape, from your foot, going on your ankle, A, B, and so ones like that, always just get your ankle moving. And don't forget about the crutch, where the crutch can also help, pulling the ankle towards you, and also pushing away. So I think it was around about video 11 goes into a bit of detail on how long you need to spend in each of those, but that's really the first 2-3 days. And they're only just simple exercises because you are very sore, so I would say the first few days and maybe even day 4 or 5, if you can get 20-30 minutes of physio every day, that really is crucial. The other part I found really important the first few days, and even throughout, I still use this twice a day, so I use it in plaster, and when I come out of plaster I continue to use this. Because this keeps half the blood moving, because your blood's not pushing around the body. There is always the problem around your leg, there is always the problem of clotting. So this really reduces that, and I was on Clexium medication, the injection, so I was taking them for the first 4 or 5 days. Again, it's a safety precaution to make sure you don't clot. So other exercises, very, very simple ones the first few days. As you get into day 2, or 3, 4 and so on, you're starting to move on towards this band, and sort of pulling towards you and so on, holding on for about 10 or so seconds. So as the days go by, you start to do more and more and more. But one thing I noticed quite a lot, that even after with the Dynabond and a few things, I was getting a lot of swelling. And also, my one problem was because I had operated on, I had an open wound. So the nurse who's looking at the open wound is saying don't do too much exercise and get your foot up. The physio was saying you need to do a lot of exercise. So you're betwixt and between. But I mean, where you can do as much exercise as possible. I never used the boot, so really from day 1 I was trying to walk on this foot, and that was no way, no nothing, sorry with the crutches, but it made it really, really difficult. And after 3 or 4 days I go, oh, I'm never going to walk. But perseverance, I kept at it, and actually longer term over the 2 weeks, because I didn't use the boot, I've actually progressed really, really well. So you don't really have a choice in that one. If your consultant says you have to go into the boot, well, that's where you have to go. In my case, unfortunately, I don't have to use the boot, so while it was difficult the first few days, I would say probably from days 5, 6 and 7, I actually got the benefit out of it, because then what I was able to do was I was able to start using these. So I was able to start using the wobble board, and then also I have the pedal exercise. So the pedal exercise is great. I have one here at home and one in the workplace. Do 5 minutes in the morning at the desk as soon as I get in. Do some lunges on a step I have under my desk. It's like a small gym underneath my desk. I do some Dynabond stretches or resistance band stretches. But this is my favourite. This wobble board is what I try to get as much done. Maybe even now at a time I'm trying to get 100 this way, then turn the board around and do 100 the other way, because it gets the ankle moving, gets it moving that way, and then it gets it moving that way. So I get more movement out of it than I probably would under normal circumstances. So those are probably coming in for me right around days 5, 6 and 7, really starting to get the benefit. So at this stage the physio's moving out of the scene, and I'm starting to do more and more of my own, getting a lot more weight down on the foot. Because of all that, by day 8, then day 9 obviously, I got back into the workplace, so I did a 2-day week. Problem there, I actually probably overdid it, did too many steps in work, overdid it, and ended up having problems with my ankle because of the wound. So I had probably a difficult weekend, but the following week then was probably days 11 and onwards, I got back into the workplace and had a really long week, long hours, and I was able to actually cope very, very well. What I was doing then in between days was just doing shorter walks, getting a lot of exercise, doing this when I got home, I'm doing as much of this exercise as I can, getting small walks in, so that was really built up both my strength but generally, and also the strength in the ankle. Day 13 then for me was probably in my head was probably my breakthrough day, where what I was able to do then, probably for the first time, I suppose I tried it, was, and I tried this earlier on, one of my videos was actually when I'm walking, I could walk like that. And so essentially left the other and put the weight on it. So before I'm all sort of walking like this, but what I was able to do this time was essentially walk like that, and all the weight was really going on that foot. So we're really getting full weight bearing on this leg. To the extent now, I mean, there's not a great deal of tension on those things. I would be using them more to balance than anything else, but I'm putting a lot of weight on the ankle. So that's where I have come in that one, and probably by day 13, that's when I really knew that the strength was coming back. Probably by day 14 or so, I could have looked at starting to drive, but through work and so on, I just didn't get the opportunity. So it was around about day 16 then, so just over the 2 weeks, I did over 4,500 steps that day, and this watch I don't think records everyone, so it's probably a lot even higher than that. Again, it could have been somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000. Did 4,500 steps. I had done a full week at work, long hours, start in the morning and sometimes work into 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, so really long day in the workplace every day. And kept it all off by it was a short drive, I was on a public road and I drove for around about 2 miles. So it was day 16 and days 17, 18 then what I was actually able to do was I spent doing a bit more driving. So basically it's brought me up to the present where back to work, to the workplace, coming up to 3 weeks out of plaster, doing okay in the crutches but getting more and more basically full weight bearing on the ankle. Less physio, although I could do some physio tomorrow. And what I'm doing, I'm driving probably between 15 to 20 miles every day at the moment. So my first goal when I came out, it's the importance of having goals, was to try and get up, get walking, get more weight on this, and then after that my independence, because I live out in the countryside, is to drive. So the fact that I can drive now, albeit it's only 15 miles a day, I hope over the next week that I can probably get up to 30 or so miles, but I've really got to, my first thing was how quickly can I get driving. So I'm back to the work, doing walking and I'm very independent, so I mean within 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks, I've come a long way. Just some things I've noticed, going along is pain's always there. So let's talk about, do you have medication? I'm going to do a separate one on this. I don't use medication. The Claxion for the first few days for the thinning of the blood, but generally I don't use medication. I don't see the point. I've been sore for the last 6 months. It's been a long process. I had surgery and so on. I'm sore every day anyway. The other thing is you say, well, when do you go back to work? Well, you know what? When I'm at work, I actually get more steps done. When I'm at home, get more exercise done. So probably the right way to do it, and I haven't got this quite right, is you get the balance between home and the workplace. But certainly after a week or so, if you can't get into the workplace and it suits, depending on your profession, I would probably say to try and do it if possible. My simple thing is, I've been sore. I might as well be sore and work as sore at home. At least when there's people around, I have a good team, I can talk to the team and they can help me through the day. And I do get assistance. Going in for a cup of tea or going for lunch or whatever, so I do get some help in the workplace, but you need to consider all those things. But basically it says within a week or so you can get back and be fairly mobile even in the workplace, so that's really important. But all this is really down to a good positive mental attitude. You have to have a good attitude in this. You could lie under it, and when I've gone back and forth to the clinics and the hospital, I've heard people say, oh, I just lay in my bed for 6 weeks, or even in one case I spoke to somebody who lay really under for 3 months. That's really not going to do any good. You're going to have a long recovery. I've been told different ones have told me like 3 months for that and 4 months for that. In 3 weeks I've come a long way, but most of that is down to the attitude. If I'm sore, what I've done, I've actually decided at times, being sensible, that sometimes you're better going through the pain. Take the pain, and actually what you do, you come back the other side and you actually feel much better for it. As you're walking, you don't feel it, and you might be close to tears, and it's really difficult, but if you can push through that, it makes sense. But all this is important if you're sure that you have been treated properly. So My first treatment, it wasn't done right. I was essentially told that the ankle was fixing and it wasn't fixed, so I was walking on a broken ankle. So it's so important to trust your own body. In the end, I realised my ankle was still broken and I had major problems there. It took maybe 6 weeks longer than it should have, because I kept saying, I have a problem here. They said, no, you don't. I went back and forwards and went back and forwards, and eventually I went private to get the problem fixed. I have full confidence in the consultant now who fixed my ankle. I know it's fixed, so there's only so much damage I can do, and most of that's probably straining other muscles or straining the other hip or so on. But I suppose the point is, really do trust your own thought. If after 3 weeks, if you look at all my videos, I've come a long way in 3 weeks. The last time I was nowhere near where I am now, so I knew there was something wrong, but I had nothing to gauge it against. Now I have, because I've gone through it before. But don't you think, if you're saying, I'm doing all this work, I'm doing all this physio, and this new physio and last physio, this is not coming on, there's something else wrong. It may be that there's some other problem there. So trust that and go back and push and push and push, because you may need in the end, not just an x-ray, you may well need a CT scan or something similar to actually show up other problems, because there could be problems right in the say the talus or some other part of the ankle which the x-rays can't pull up. So do trust yourself and ask around. And I know it can be difficult, but sometimes you're just going to have to be saying, there's something else wrong here, I think we need to have another look at this. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way. I maybe had 6 weeks more than I should have. But that said, I've stuck at it. I've tried to remain positive all throughout, and try and keep out those negative thoughts. There's days you think, I'm never going to walk again and all that, but if you keep at it, you will get there. But it is exercise, exercise, exercise. Be sensible. Do the Dynaband. If you get the muscle stimulator, get it in there. Do your steps here. Once you get on that wobble board, can't recommend it highly. If you can start doing the wobble board and speak to your physio about that, again, really good. And the pedal exercise, once you start building up those and making your exercise more and more difficult, it can be quite sore afterwards, but you're doing yourself a good bit of, you are really helping yourself in the long term. I am looking, hopefully in the next week or so, get more physio tomorrow. It's the first action over a week, and then it's I think it's called it's a treadmill, but like a anti-gravity treadmill. So I'm going to look at that, and maybe that's something your local hospital or clinic does have, where basically introduces your body weight by about 30% in a standard treadmill, but you sort of go into this contraption, and it means you can start walking with more weight on the bad ankle, and that's maybe particularly good for people who are really struggling to get that ankle down, the foot down, because a lot of it is in your head. So if you're really struggling to get it down like that after 2 or 3 weeks, there could be another problem there. But first and foremost, there may be a problem up here, and that's the thing you need to think about. Is it in my head? Is that why I can't put the foot down, or is the problem down here? But there's so much of it goes on up here, and you need to have that positive attitude. But think about it all the time. There's a thing called dorsiflex, which my physio was saying, basically being able to move your ankle. I couldn't do it all along, and if you're unable to do that, there's other problems there that you need to investigate. That's a bit longer video than normal, but I just thought it was interesting to maybe review my 15 days, because I feel I've come along in an awful long way. An awful long way in just a couple of short weeks. Set my goal as your goal, and hopefully you can even get up and if not running, up and walking even a lot quicker than I have.